to the Thrift Store Rundown's 4th annual Odyssey to the Oscars, where we bring the Academy Awards home on a budget. The tradition continues to add that Tinseltown touch to secondhand shopping on Hollywood's grandest night. Now, as you know, you can't have an Oscar viewing party without some Oscar-worthy grub. So fittingly, for our first review at our 4th annual Shindig to the Stars, we bring you TCM movie night menus from the Darlington siblings in collaboration with Turner Classic Movies, Tenaya and Andre Darlington. Dinner and drink recipes inspired by films we love. This is from Running Press, published in 2016 and purchased for $5.99 and for a 50% discount. That discount alone makes Unique Thrift Store here in Patterson worthy of an award itself. This is being reviewed in place of Eat What You Watch by Andrew Weir of Binging with Babbis, which was supposed to be reviewed for last year's Odyssey to the Oscars. Unfortunately, because of a terrible setback I had with my PC, it was postponed. I eventually reviewed it when his second cookbook, Binging with Babbis, came out. And I think you'll agree that for the next few minutes, this is going to be a smashing substitute and a standout all its own. Retail prices, $22 in the US, $28.50 in Canada, and £14.99 in the UK. Looking for a great idea for date night or to entertain friends? Why not queue up Casablanca with some French 75s and a Moroccan-themed spread? Turner Classic Movies movie night menu spotlights 30 crowd-pleasing films, with therefore 30 accompanying menus from the 1930s through the 80s, paired with signature drinks and dishes that appear in, or are inspired by, each film's setting and stars, filled with entertaining tips and background on each film in the while you're watching section. Dish and Cocktail. The book offers a unique culinary tour of movie history, including menus inspired by The Thin Man, The Philadelphia Story, Sunset Boulevard, Some Like It Hot, American Graffiti, Moonstruck, and many more. Fully illustrated with luscious food photography and evocative film stills, Movie Night Menus provides the perfect accompaniments and conversation pieces to round out a fun-filled evening. More than one-third of the films listed in this book are Oscar nominees for Best Picture, and I say about 9 or so that we're going to spotlight in here are Best Picture winners, including one exception, because I do want to talk about an up-and-coming music artist in this film who you probably know and might stand. If not, you probably will now, because she'll make her appearance at the Oscars very soon, and we'll get to that later. But for now, our first film is Grand Hotel. It's a classic from 1932 with Greta Garbo, Joan Crawford, and brothers John and Lionel Barrymore and Wallace Beery. The menu: dining and dancing. We have the Louisiana Flip. And by the way, as I said, while you're watching this section, offers background trivia on the film and its stars, and the film's release, what goes on behind the scenes and so forth. Setting the scene, providing a visual enhancement to your movie night by way of wardrobe, styling yourself to fit the wardrobe of the film you're watching, or through your decor, decorating your home to fit the ambience and the background of the film you're watching. So this is the Louisiana Flip. This is a cocktail, and by the way, plenty of cocktails in here are mostly egg-based, and as the Darlington siblings said, they're frothy and they're wonderful. But do be careful and practice good food safety, because you could risk some salmonella if you're not careful. We also have a German pancake with ham and Gruyere, or berries and cream, a savory and a sweet German pancake, also known as a Dutch baby. Next up, a classic from 1942, one that I talked about before, Casablanca. Their menu: a Moroccan farewell, a French 75, another cocktail, and roasted eggplant tagine. As you know, this stars Humphrey Bogart and Ingrid Bergman. This is the French 75. By the way, all the quotes in here, and there are plenty of them in this book, I'm sure you've been reciting between now and the next year's Oscars. Here's the roasted eggplant tagine. Next up, we have An American in Paris from 1951 featuring Gene Kelly and Leslie Caron. The menu for this one is a French picnic featuring an American in Paris cocktail and a cheese bread with charcuterie and Dijon mustard. optional, a simple French baguette and chocolate. That menu, to quote the lyrics of one of the songs in here, is wonderful and marvelous. Just like this picture of the cheese bun with the charcuterie on it. Goodness gracious. And by the way, plenty of quotes in here are sporadically placed throughout. And I'm sure you've been reciting them long before this year's Odyssey to the Oscars. What? Don't lie to me. The Apartment from 1960 features a menu of holiday hospitality. Rum Collins and Tom and Jerry. With a name like that, you know this is going to be a smashing addition to your menu. Mixed nuts and cheese crackers, which is optional. And build your own turkey and cranberry club sandwiches. Delicious. This features Jack Lemmon and Shirley MacLaine. And if that's not a classic combination, what is? Just like this menu here. Build your own turkey and cranberry club sandwiches. The tree is up and the Tom and Jerry mix is in the refrigerator, says C.C. Baxter. But what is the Tom and Jerry? Think of this as a very adult eggnog. So, look no further for a festive holiday addition to your movie night menus within the next 12 months or so. Actually, 11 months. Dr. No is the only lone exception in my Best Picture showcase in movie night menus. And why? Because there's a certain up-and-coming artist who came off of a near-clean sweep at this year's Grammys who will be performing the 25th Bond-themed song No Time to Die for the film of the same name being released April 10th. Before I mention her, let's quickly mention the menu. A Spy Party, Vespa Martini and Red Stripe Beer, jerk strip skewers, and oven-roasted plantains and mango dipping sauce. This stars the pure James Bond, the quintessential James Bond, Sean Connery, and the hot Bond girl, Ursula Andress. Featured above in a now legendary swimsuit. If there are no, quote, hot Bond girls in No Time to Die, forget Billie Eilish. I'm not watching, period. And yes, that is who exactly will be performing No Time to Die, April 10th. She, a 5-time Grammy Award winner, Billie Eilish, collaborated with her brother Phineas for the 25th Bond theme song. Much objection has been raised due to her lack of vocal range, quote-unquote. Well, in her defense, and by no means am I saying this to say that I'm a Billie Eilish stan, cause her music is not my cup of tea. But in her defense, I must say that the majority of James Bond theme songs, if not all of them, are essentially dark in nature, and Billie's body of work is as dark as the underworld. And yet, that's what got her 5 of 6 Grammy Awards, including wins for all 4 major categories: Record, Song and Album of the Year, and Best New Artist. So I'd say that the choice of Billie Eilish to perform the Bond theme is not only a bold choice, but also a safe choice. Might I add that both Adele and Sam Smith are born and raised Brits, and their songs for James Bond films, Skyfall and Writings on the Wall respectively, took home Oscars for Best Original Song. So maybe by next year, provided that if it's any good, we'll probably be hearing Billie Eilish take home her first Oscar and the first American Oscar for a James Bond song. Only time will tell. By the way, Billie is mysteriously sexy in my opinion, so we'll see how it goes come April 10th. And of course, if you're still pissed, you can still listen to Hans Zimmer's original score in collaboration with Johnny Marr. It's the Academy Award-winning composer's first James Bond film. Also a safe choice. Now we move on to The Sting, a Paul Newman, Robert Redford classic. This is from 1973, and the menu is a mobster night, featuring an old-fashioned, and Chicago-style deep dish pizza. No picture of the old-fashioned. By the way, I am 21 years of age, so I will drink to all these classics, but I wouldn't because I don't like the taste of alcohol, and I already have a mother that is an expert on alcohol, so to speak. Sorry to say. That is a Chicago-style deep dish pizza, and that looks scrumptious. I had plenty of pizza in my day. I would love to have a deep dish. homemade, preferably, because no way, no how could I sell any money to afford a plane trip to Chicago. Now we have my stepfather's favorite film featuring my stepfather's favorite actor, Sylvester Stallone in Rocky from 1976. And we've covered Rocky a couple of times, the Rocky Balboa DVD and the Rocky Balboa collector's doll that my stepfather still has in his closet. The menu: a South Philly supper, the Philadelphia special, an Italian stallion hoagie, and optional chocolate tunnels in homage to Rocky's pet's tunnels. That's an Italian stallion hoagie with a past blue ribbon spirit. It's also a major component of the Philadelphia special. You'll also need for that one a shot of whiskey. Sweep out the whiskey, nuss the beer. What? We had the Wetsons, Darlington siblings. And lastly, the Darlington siblings put together a list of movies and movie menus for 4 special occasions. Movies for the holidays, date night movies for those looking to take Netflix and chill to impressive, resplendent new heights. And because this year's Oscars falls early in Valentine's month, with Valentine's Day being my favorite holiday ever, you want to keep that in mind. Movie menus for crowds and celebrations, for a reunion, engagement party, anniversary bash, retirement, or graduation. And finally, a simple, fun family film night. Entertain Hollywood style with movie night menus, a food, cocktail, and film pairing guide inspired by the classics. By the way, the Darlington siblings are authors of 2 other books that focus on the art of the happy hour. And I might say this is the best. Turner Classic Movies is the definitive resource for the greatest movies of all time. We engage, entertain, and enlighten to show how the entire spectrum of classic movies, movie history, and movie making touches us all and influences how we think and live today. To quote a 1992 sports comedy/drama film which you all might be familiar with, this is in a league of its own. 4.5 out of 5 claps. A Robert Osborne introduction would have merited all 5 claps, but I think the Darlingtons will settle for 4.5 claps. Because they have published a cookbook that would look absolutely darling on any coffee table, dining room table, or any kitchen countertop. The timing is ever so perfect, and the stage is set for you to craft a movie night with this cookbook that Dreamworks are made of. Thanks for watching, and here's looking at you on the thrift side, kid.